So, within the next several days, more than 115,000 railroad workers, they're preparing to go on strike, forcing railroad companies like BNSF, Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific to quite literally stop in their tracks, no pun intended. Now, a railroad strike of this magnitude, it could create a nationwide shortage of food, other goods, and raw materials. And without products to sell, businesses, both small businesses as well as larger corporations that you might even find on the S&P 500 stock market, could be forced to shut their doors or even lay off workers due to a lack of inventory. As if the looming railroad strike isn't bad enough, reports indicate layoffs could be coming for the company called 3M. Have you guys heard of 3M? Well, 3M makes tons of different products such as tape, different paint-related products. But anyway, 3M is a multi-billion-dollar Fortune 500 company. And even worse, if you happen to be a 3M stockholder or 3M stock shareholder. Details of the 3M layoffs were first reported by Bloomberg News, which said in a memo recently shared with its investors that the company's safety and industrial division mentioned a broader cost-cutting drive in response to a slowing economy. Now, a 3M spokesperson said, quote, 3M is taking decisive actions to position the company for continued growth while also adjusting to the challenging macroeconomic environment. Pay very close attention to this, folks. The macroeconomic environment, our economy is changing as we speak, and we're seeing Fortune 500 companies potentially, I'm not going to say they're coming to their knees, but this particular company looks like it may very well be. Now, they went on to say that as we prioritize our investments and our resources, we will be adjusting on an ongoing basis the roles and responsibilities needed for future growth. To me, that sounds like a whole heck of a lot more layoffs and job loss going forward. Many companies will find themselves in these types of positions where, hey, it's sink or swim. No further details were shared by 3M about how many possible employees could potentially be affected by, or, the restructuring, as they call it, the restructuring of the 3M business. They also did not mention which locations that these layoffs could possibly come from. Now, I got a question for you. In the comments section, just drop me a quick answer. Do you or anyone that you know, or do you know of anyone who works in 3M? Whether you work at 3M or you know someone who works at 3M, definitely share this video with them. Hopefully they will have enough time to prepare for what is coming down the pipeline. Now, I have another question for you. Do you use a hearing aid? Whether you use a hearing aid or do you know someone else who uses a hearing aid, just drop me a quick comment down below, because this may actually speak volumes to you or to your colleagues, no pun intended. Now, 3M appears to be considering bankruptcy in wake of a massive lawsuit regarding hearing aids. So, 3M company, they lost its fight to block jury trials in more than 230,000 lawsuits accusing it of harming U.S. soldiers. 3M stock shares fell the most in the more than 3 years after the ruling, but the U.S. Bankruptcy Judge Jeffrey J, he refused to temporarily halt the lawsuits accusing 3M and its bankruptcy subsidiary, Aearo Technologies, of selling faulty combat earplugs that damage the hearing of veterans who use them. So apparently these, hearing earplugs, or I should say these hearing earplugs, they're kind of like maybe what you might use at a gun range to protect your hearing from loud sounds and so forth. Well, it's not looking good for GM right now, and it looks like the judge who is presiding over this bankruptcy for 3M is not having a whole heck of a lot of leniency for them. According to Nigel Coe, an analyst at Wolfe Research, he says this: 3M has every incentive to seek a settlement in that scenario. Litigating these types of cases is not a realistic scenario. Hopefully 3M stock can maintain its dividend payments, or else investors may lose this particular stream of passive income. Are you or anyone that you know of concerned of losing your job? With layoffs looming, many companies like BBBY, ticker symbol BBBY is the stock symbol, but this is Bed Bath and Beyond, and they are closing their doors. And more Americans, they're living paycheck to paycheck, and they're looking for ways to make ends meet in the face of record inflation, job losses, as well as a slowing economy. And this is putting further pressure on the housing market and driving up demand for rental properties, as new homeowners are finding it very difficult to qualify for mortgages as, thank you very much, Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, they continue to raise interest rates in their attempt to lower inflation. United States President Joe Biden, or Joseph Biden, has indicated that they're being very active with the criticism from the Republican Party, especially those who are Trump supporters, although some are having trouble and defining who the president is actually calling out by using terms like semi-fascist to define what he is actually calling an extremist. Now, this is a little bit, or maybe I should say this is a lot different than what we've seen from President Biden's personality in the past. Generally, he's not, I wouldn't say he's much of a name caller usually, or at least not in front of the camera, but to be using terms like semi-fascist, it seems like, I don't know, just a little bit out of character. But do you guys agree with this? Do you think that he should be calling his opposition names like this, especially right ahead of the midterm elections that are coming up? Now, question for you. If you receive EBT or SNAP benefits, or perhaps you feel like you might qualify or need to qualify for EBT or SNAP benefits soon, you will definitely want to hear what I have to say about this particular urgent update for EBT and SNAP benefits, but I'm going to discuss that later in this video. Also, while the government has repeatedly denied a recession, even though the last 10 recessions in a row have had 2 consecutive negative GDPs like we just had, others are arguing that the economy is just fine. They still have jobs and, things are not quite as bad as they could be. Many people are saying that. But the truth of the matter is that, while this may be true, many Americans are finding it more difficult each and every single day just to make ends meet, having to put more items back on the shelves as inflation has driven up the price of everything from meats to produce to cereals. And this is just at the grocery store. And if you're not putting items back, chances are you're loading up that high interest rate credit card, whether it's a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover card, and you're digging yourself further and further into credit card debt each and every single month as we attempt to make ends meet and move forward. But we haven't even discussed the rising cost of the housing market, the rent prices which are rising, gas. I mean, heck, I was at Zaxby's just the other day for the first time in like 10 years. And I was blown away by the prices. Almost $10 for wings and things platter. I mean, this is just unreal. As much as I'm not that much of a fan of Chipotle, I may actually have to go back there. Seems like a little bit lower price for the amount of food that I'm getting at Chipotle. But, that's just my own personal take. You guys can make your own decisions. But I suppose officially announcing a recession would have a negative effect on politicians and lawmakers right before the midterm elections. Question, though, is this fair for the American people? Drop me a quick comment down below. Just let me know, what you think on that one. Now, for more news and money updates related to the U.S. economy, the stock market, the housing market, passive income, prepping for economic collapse, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, click the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos and updates from me. And if you like this video, definitely drop a like for the video. If you don't like the video, hit the like button twice. I totally would appreciate that. But, with more than 200 days, this is the amount of time that it's been since our president has granted a TV interview with a mainstream American journalist. Although he did a recent he did a recent show with Jay Leno to talk about electric cars and old Corvettes. Now, many people would say, hey, President Biden, shouldn't you be worried about more important things than, your vehicle toys and reminiscing on past time events? But what's strange for some journalists, though, is that, with everything that's going on, why not make time to discuss the more serious issues that millions of Americans are facing rather than hanging out with late night talk shows like Jay Leno? But anyway, I digress. It would also be nice to have some of our questions answered, like, should we expect a Social Security increase for 2023? Does President Biden know that the Americans are owing a record high on their credit cards? These are the critical issues and concerns that Americans are having today, which could potentially guide the direction and the ultimate outcome of the midterm elections coming up in, I don't know, not too long from now, in the next month or so. Does Biden even care? And also, what plans does he have for those who receive SNAP benefits, EBT benefits? But so far, all we've been hearing from him is that, what he thinks about the former president and their extreme take to politics. Now, more than 9 in 10 freight rail workers believe that they should go on strike to secure better wages and working conditions. And what is most disturbing is a very recent message that I received from an actual railroad worker that said this. He said that he drove for a rail crew express, and yes, 4 days ago, he heard the scary news. And get this. He said strike signs are beginning or being given out already for BNSF. So this is a very forward-looking insider bit of information that's being shared from an actual worker. Now, the poll results are showing they're seeming to contradict railroad union leaders who have essentially downplayed the possibility of a lockout, which could inflict huge damage on the U.S. economy, not to mention the actual railroad companies themselves, such as Union Pacific, BNSF, Norfolk Southern. And this could ultimately create severe supply chain shortages and new supply chain snags. Railroad Workers United, a grassroots organization representing rank and file rail workers, found that 96% of the nearly 3,200 rail workers they were surveyed, and they're prepared to go on strike once they're legally allowed to on or after September 16th. So, guys, this is live. I mean, this is like literally, this could happen any day now. So put that date on your calendars, September 16th. That's going to be a very crucial, important date for you guys. I want you guys to be aware of what's coming down the pipeline, and it looks like this is it. So if we move on from here, we can see that the vast majority of workers that are surveyed said that they would actually reject a recent labor agreement proposed by the White House appointed Presidential Emergency Board selected by President Joe Biden. Now, the board, created by President Biden last month in an effort to end a years-long standoff between railroads and unions, recommended a 5-year deal that could cap rail or health premiums, and they could also provide cash bonuses and rail hikes, and they could increase worker wages by 24%, or at least this is what they're hoping for. And so this is less than the 31% pay bump that unions requested, but still more than the railroad's proposed 17% increase. Now, if a strike occurred, the trucking industry could see an enormous demand due to container and boxcar freight that might have to now go by truck. Now, I'm not really sure what the ratio is from freight car capacity to a semi-truck trailer capacity, but I'm pretty sure that the rail car is somewhere between 2 and 5 times larger. Now, a railroad strike would suffocate the trucking industry, especially in states like California, where AB5 is positioned to put owner-operators out of business. Engineers and train cars or train crews could go on strike and completely shut the U.S. railroads down. Chemicals, coal, construction, materials, crude oil, paper, lumber, auto parts, and new cars would literally just stop moving altogether all at once. You've got wheat, corn, soybeans, animal feed, beer, bird seed, canned produce, corn syrup, flour, frozen chicken, sugar, wine. They could all just sit where they are, and all the perishables would literally just, they would just go bad while they sat in the metal shipping containers, especially on these very hot days. So, the same intense heat that has California Governor Gavin Newsom asking California residents to stop using electricity to charge their electric battery powered cars. This is bad stuff, you guys. I mean, I hate to bring the bad news, but I want my community to be aware of what is coming down the pipeline. Now, the same EVs that Gavin Newsom wants to replace gas-powered cars and trucks, as he's planning to outlaw them by 2035. So, for all of you who are fans of gas-powered vehicles, I hope you don't live in California, because come 2035, it looks like Governor Gavin Newsom is trying to eliminate them. Now, all of these containers with names on them like JB Hunt, Snyder, and Swift, they may be the trucking companies that America is depending on to haul materials across the United States in the event that the railroads actually shut down and go on strike. So, yeah, this is going to be bad. And if the railroad companies do go on strike, they're just going to be sitting there on the track. Now, just imagine trying to put all of this stuff on trucks. This would make the last 2 years during the pandemic just pale in insignificance. Now, with the volume of freight shippers, this would be like trying to I personally don't think that they would be capable of doing this, but with the volume of freight shippers, would be trying to move overwhelming all sectors of trucking. So even the truckers that have decided to shut down their doors due to lack of profitability, they may actually be called back into action and start firing those trucks back up. Not to mention the freight that's already behind schedule on rails like BNSF, CSX, Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific, and it's already loaded on cars and stuck out in the middle of nowhere. And I seriously doubt Warren Buffett has giant cranes and forklifts that just randomly spread around the country with qualified and certified workers waiting to effectively and systematically unload and reroute all the freight into semi-trucks and their tractor trailers. But last month, a nationwide SNAP EBT outage left millions of Americans essentially unable to make payments at retail stores, Walmart, Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's Wholesaler, Publix, Aldi's, you name it. Many systems were declining SNAP benefits users, EBT benefits users, and Louisiana families can now begin to access their summertime pandemic electronic benefit transfer, also known as PEBT benefits, this week. The Louisiana Department of Children and Family Services announced Tuesday that eligible students will receive payments totaling $391 to cover both June and July, and the payments will be issued in 2 installments, one for $195 and the second for $196. Now, this is coming according to the DCFS. Now, the benefits can be used on SNAP-eligible food and grocery stores that accept EBT cards. Eligibility information for the summer PEBT will begin processing next Tuesday evening to be specific, and the benefits will be available to those students on Wednesdays of the same week. Now, this weekly upload and issuance process will continue throughout September, and DCFS said that it will continue to issue the child care PEBT later this fall. Under this new federal rules, according to the DCFS, federal food assistance benefits will be expunged or even removed from the recipient's EBT card 9 months after the benefits are issued, or 9 months from the time that the card was last used to make a purchase. Now, if the card is used, then the benefits will remain on the card for 9 months from the date of the last purchase. Now, once the benefits have actually been removed, they can't be added back to the card. So just so that you guys know about that. And I guess that's I guess it's not a sure thing, as I know that many of us, they still need more help. Not everyone is in a strong financial position, and be it housing, rent, food stamps, SNAP benefits, maybe even universal income for those who really need it. Especially as more financial experts are seeing signs of a recession coming up for our country, which others are arguing that it's already here. Now, with inflation hitting record highs, more American households are looking for side hustle opportunities and ways to make money fast. Amazon just launched a same-day delivery from some brick-and-mortar retail brands. Prime members of Amazon in select cities can now get items from apparel stores PacSun, Sundry, as well as other retailers. And they could get these items delivered to their doorsteps, and guess what? Just a few hours. So this is really record-breaking delivery speed even for Amazon. Consumers are increasingly demanding faster delivery speeds from online retailers, as evidenced by the explosion of ultra-fast grocery platforms in the last year. Now, retailers have also jumped on the trend by partnering with on-demand delivery providers such as DoorDash, Uber's Postmates, Instacart, UPS Roadie, as well as Target Shipped. And if you guys are not aware, some of these are actually really good side hustle opportunities if you're looking to make an extra couple $1,000s a month. Definitely hit me up in the comments down below if you'd like to learn more about that. And you guys also know how to reach me. My email's in the description down below. Now, the partnerships mean that consumers can often get a new t-shirt or dress in a matter of hours. Now, with the new partnership, retailers will fulfill orders with inventory in their stores, and entrepreneurs, in the form of flex delivery drivers, they'll pick them up from the retailer. Now, doing so allows Amazon to get online purchases to the shopper's doorsteps even faster, and also allows small business entrepreneurs to make money that is literally, that's the delivery side that the side hustle offers. So if you're looking to make a little bit of money on the side, if you're a small business entrepreneur or you're interested in being a small business entrepreneur, this could be a nice way to make money, and not a bad side hustle using the delivery method. Now, Amazon isn't the first company, or heck, it's not even the only company looking beyond warehouses to fulfill their e-commerce orders. Walmart and Target, they're tapping into their large brick and mortar footprints to speed deliveries with hopes of expanding their e-commerce market share. Now, Walmart is leveraging Walmart Spark to have online orders delivered by entrepreneurs and side hustles, or I should say side hustlers, to get groceries delivered to customers' doorsteps quickly. Now, the best way to eventually become your own boss is to start a side hustle and build your self-employed income while you still have the safety and the security of your 9-to-5 day job. Starting a side hustle not only pads your income, but it also creates career-changing opportunities for you and potentially for your family that you normally wouldn't have stumbled across while working your normal full-time 9-to-5 job. However, building a side hustle to profitability with a limited amount of time outside of your day job, it's not easy. It definitely takes, ruthless prioritization, a psychological shift in how you look at things and how you look at what's most important for your life, and your willingness to get very creative and scrappy on a daily basis, but it can certainly be worth it. I've worked with a number of people who have literally built their side hustle income to from anywhere from an extra $1,000 a month to some people are making an extra $25,000 a month from their side hustles, and they've actually earned more from their side hustles in less time than they were earning from their full-time job. Many people. So I encourage you guys to continue to reach out to me. I'm doing my best to get back with all of you guys who are looking for side hustle coaching and help to be able to make more money. But please bear with me. I'm working on responding to everyone. But many Americans, including myself, have launched side hustles related to freelancing, print-on-demand T-shirt businesses, consulting, Amazon FBA. Heck, even YouTube is a side hustle. And I've been coaching many people on getting their YouTube's channels to monetization, and so that they can earn another stream of income using the platform called YouTube. Not to mention consulting and other online-based businesses. And you can do all of this while maintaining a regular 9-to-5 job. In fact, according to a 2016 study by LinkedIn Pro founder, more than 300,000 professionals in the U.S. alone, they're already freelancing, using sites like Fiverr and Upwork on top of their day jobs. But for more news and money updates related to the U.S. economy, the stock market, the housing market, passive income, and prepping for economic collapse, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also make sure you hit that notification bell. You guys be safe and take care.